What's up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. So last night, we got a brand new episode of I Love a Mama's Boy, Season 2, Episode 9. First off, there was no Brian, Tracy, and Jane last night. They were absent from the episodes. We will catch up with them next week. We did see a preview for Jane's date, and Brian was grilling him pretty hard, so it's not going well. So we're going to check in on that later on. But let's check in with Theous, Tia, and Carolyn. So Tia has finally decided after 10 years that she is putting her foot down and she wants to be Theous's number one, and she needs to Theous needs to basically make sure his mom is not at the house all the time and they spend less time together. And she did bring up the birthday trip and how she felt like she didn't get enough attention. See, I kind of disagree, and we covered this before. This was Carolyn's 70th birthday party, and I kind of feel like you invited yourself on the party, and then you said you didn't have a good time. So I do feel like you're right 100% that the amount of time they spend together should be reduced, but that specific trip, I feel like they behaved okay. That was exactly how I would expect him to behave for his mom's 70th birthday party.
I mean, I think that the message is pretty much delivered. Like, she said her feelings, she said her piece, they listened, and it looked like they were going to go out for a date together. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think people aren't mind readers. Just because you think it's common sense or you think that people should know or be on the same page as you doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen. You have to have communication. Communication is key. And with 10 years, you should be able to read each other like a book. So
after 10 years, you kind of know each other and you know how each other works. So she said that she wants a more independent man to marry. And we do know that Theous hasn't paid any of his bills since he's been an adult. His mom has always done that. So I'm wondering, does she want something that Theous is not? And I think that's kind of where they're at now, at a crossroads. Is he actually who he wants to marry? Bless you.
Excuse me.
Or maybe she is dreaming of marrying a guy that's not Theous. Maybe the things that she wants are leading her in a different direction.
Yeah. I mean, I think I applaud her for standing up and letting them know how she feels. I agree with you about the birthday party situation. She probably should have sat that one out. But, I wish them the best. They've been together for a long time. It was kind of funny that grandma was poking her nose when she was trying to help with the homework. But, you can't get mad because that's what grandmas do. So I guess we'll have to see how this pans on.
Yeah, we have to see how it goes. Like we said, that we're going to go on a date. We have to see if he will actually not answer the phone when Carolyn calls while they're on the date and see if he's actually going to change. All right, so let's talk about Matt, Kim, and Kelly. So Kim is actually leaving. It's happening. She's getting on the plane. Congratulations. You're going to Austin. You are leaving Matt and Kelly behind.
And all the drama.
And guess who jumps in the SUV as they head to the airport? Kelly. She does ask permission.
She does.
But I kind of feel like regardless of what they said, she would have gotten the SUV anyway.
Yeah, and it should have been between them. Like
it was
their
a
last
send-off
goodbye.
moment where they could hug, say how they feel, and she was there. And even in the car, Kim said, "When are you going to visit me?" And he said, "Soon." And Kelly said, "We'll visit you soon." So there can still not be that relationship. It's always Matt, Kim, and Kelly. And I just wonder, how long is that going to be able to last?
I mean, I'm not thinking much longer, but that's just my opinion. I think that once she goes and gets a taste of freedom and sees what else is out there for her, she might realize that she wasn't being treated very fairly. I mean, I'm not putting down Matt nor his mother. I feel like, we don't always get to see what is behind closed doors. We only get to see what's shown to us. And I know a lot of it's probably extreme for ratings, but it's just, you see all this stuff that these women endure to be in these relationships, and it's got to be something that kept them there for so long. I'm hoping that they'll have their spark, because they did fall in love and they got engaged, and they have that going. But I want her to do whatever makes her happy. I mean, She's such a pretty girl, and I know this is something that she really wanted. So, never settle. Do what's best for you, and if your relationship is meant to be, he'll wait for you for that year.
I agree. Kim, enjoy your time in Austin. You deserve it. All right, so let's talk about Mike and Steph. So Stephanie has bought a one-way ticket to LA, and she's not looking back. And in the beginning of the episode, it kind of looked like Mike was just letting her go.
Yeah.
And then we got a turn of events because his friend Andre Drummond offered him a job as a social media manager for his social media. And then Mike said, this might be the calling for me. This might be where I need to be. It is in LA, and maybe Stephanie was right all along. So it looks like things may actually work out.
Now, let me get this straight. Make sure I'm not getting him confused with anybody else. Is he the only child? He doesn't have siblings, correct?
He's the only child.
Okay. I was going to say before asking, I feel that he has only child syndrome. And maybe that's what makes it so hard for his mom, you know, raising him as a single parent, not having any other children to meddle in their lives. You know, I know they have such a great, wonderful bond. And he's really tied because it's like, even though the person is a plane ride away or a train ride away or a car ride away, it's not the same. You're used to your usual setup. You're used to having somebody like, hop in the car, I'll be there in 15 minutes if there's something wrong. But he really has to realize, what does he want in life? You're not going to be able to have your cake and eat it too in this situation. You're going to have to choose between your job opportunity with your best friend and your longtime girlfriend, or do you stay home with your mom in Connecticut? I mean, I'm sure you'll still have opportunities there as well, but you might let a lot slip through your fingers if you don't try to explore. So I think he should go. I mean, keep the condo in Connecticut and just go. Even if it's like what Kimberly's doing, even if it's for a year, 6 months, 3 months, test it out. See how that job opportunity is, you know?
I agree.
And then he might actually like it. And then maybe even Liz might come and join them. Like, you never know unless you try.
You don't. And he did break it to Liz on last night's episode, but we didn't really get to see all of her reaction. The show ended. She cried. And Mike said that the worst thing that he can ever do is make his mother cry. So this might actually be a turning point where he decides this is just too much and he won't go. So we have to see.
Let him go.
We'll have to see what happens next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the romantic picnic
Oh my God.
Layla and Shekeb planned for Emily, which went terribly, terribly wrong. There was screaming. There looked like a tooth may have been chipped. There was an eye that was already almost taken out by a bottle of wine, and it did not go
all
as planned.
From Shekeb.
All from Shekeb, and Layla came out of the bushes, and it was just a nightmare train wreck, and I laughed so hard I literally couldn't breathe.
And I'm sorry, Shekeb, I know this was not funny because her reaction was not funny, but like just how it panned out was hilarious. Because it's like, why was your mom creeping in like behind the tree? Like you could call her and say, Mom, it went really well. Thanks for your help with the picnic. Like, she just came out there throwing candy at her head. Who does this?
It was so
funny.
Chaotic. And it was funny. And I feel like Layla's excitement for the event showed me that she knew that it was going to go how she wanted it to go. Because when they were preparing and buying the things and deciding where to put the ring, it's her excitement. I've never seen that level of excitement for her when it involved Emily.
I love you, Shekeb. I don't love Emily.
Yes, so she made that very clear in the store. She's like, I love you so much, I just don't like Emily.
Yeah.
So I knew that she was pretty sure that this was going to go a certain way. And if you give a girl a $500 ring when she asked for a $40,000 ring, it's going to go a certain way.
The only thing, like, all jokes aside, I really did not care for her reaction. Now, I understand her being taken off guard. Like, if somebody scares the crap out of you, you might be, like, a little upset, you know? Yeah. If you chip a tooth, you might be a little upset.
Yeah.
But it's what she said when they're like, oh, you don't like the ring? And she's like, get this away from me. That right there just showed whatever gold-digging tendencies we speculated from her to be true. Because it's like, even if you're angry or upset, and yeah, maybe by this time he should know if he wants to marry you or not. True. But you know where he stands, you know where Layla stands, you know where all this stands. And I feel that Shekeb is a really nice guy. I don't understand why he would want to put up with those backhanded comments from her. Like, I really just don't get it. Like, that was just so rude. Even if he paid $5 for the ring. Like, you give somebody a gift, why are you so ungrateful? You just give it back to them and be like, okay, we're not on the same page, I guess we can't be together. But you don't sit there and insult everybody.
Yeah.
Like, that was just ugly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shekeb. I'm sorry, Emily, but I did not care for that response.
Yeah, her reaction was extreme, and she is ready to get married. She's made it clear, and the promise ring did not rub her the right way.
No.
We still don't know exactly what happened. From what it looked like, she was going to leave, but we don't know that yet, so we have to watch next week and see.
Man, I'm waiting for it.
I cannot wait to see how it goes, because I feel like Layla, I hate to say it, was 100% right. This test that she did, it was a foolproof test, and she knew that Emily was going to fail the test, and that's kind of what happened.
Mamas know best.
Mom does know best. All right, guys, that's it for I Love a Mama's Boy podcast. This was season 2, episode 9.
Woo!
Make sure you live tweet with us.
Getting
We
there.
don't know exactly how many episodes are this season, but they haven't announced the finale yet. So we are still going, and we are still live tweeting every Sunday. So make sure you join us. I'll put our Twitters right here at the bottom. Thank you so much for joining. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host Heather C, and we'll talk to you guys really soon.
Bye.